for this grand portfolio project, here's what I want you to do. You click on this template, take you to the template. First, you're going to change my name to your name, and you can go ahead and leave this text because it is a project dedicated to all the neat things you've learned at Lincoln Savage or wherever you attended middle school. So if you click on this, you'll notice it says 6th grade. Down here it says 7th grade, 8th grade, and then it's got some slides as examples. Turns out this first one's pretty much done for you. You'll notice there's a title and the formal definition and some examples. Here's an image, a nice image of the water cycle, and then there's a link to where I got the image. So the next move you want to make is, instead of recreating the wheel, what I did is I right-clicked and said duplicate slide. That's important. Duplicate slide, so you don't have to, build it from scratch. So that's what I've essentially done here is I duplicated it, and now I changed it to rock cycle. And you need to finish this. You need to write the formal definition here. Just Google it, and then replace. Notice this says replace the picture for the one for the rock cycle. So delete this picture and put in one for the rock cycle. Some people don't get that as instructions, and then they look at this and they're like, how come the picture in this one's the same as the picture in that one? That's because you haven't finished your part. You got to get rid of this and put a picture for the rock cycle. Change the information, put some text about some examples. Maybe for an example of the water cycle, you could say when you are taking a shower, there's evaporation because of the hot water, and then when the hot water touches the cold mirror, it condenses, and then as it starts to make condensation that's big enough to form water droplets, it starts to essentially rain. The water, when it drips down the mirror, is like rain. So now we've got water cycle and then we've got rock cycle. There's way more topics than just that, because the way this is looking, there's only 2 topics under 6th grade, and then we move to 7th grade, but that's not the case. What you need to do is check your guide. Here's the guide on paper. Click this, and you'll see all the things that I want. In fact, it'll also explain, I want a title, I want a text box. All these things are what you just saw. Notice it says hyperlink here. So that's what you just saw. You got the title, you got the text box with the formal definition, you got some examples, you got a link to where you got the picture. That's what this is all spelling out. Now, as far as the topics, I want water cycle, rock cycle, plate tectonics. So notice water cycle, rock cycle, that should, ring a bell. Water cycle's here, rock cycle. So what's next is plate tectonics. So add that to the next. You just want to do duplicate slide and then modify the title to say plate tectonics, and keep adding until you're done with all the way to here. Okay, so, and then here's a helpful image for you. If you click this, it'll take you to this awesome image that I put together for you that kind of puts all the information on one page. Okay, so that's how you do this project. And then 7th grade, scroll down, you'll see 7th grade. It's also got its own image guide with a bunch of compact information on it. And it's basically saying I want slides for mitosis, reproduction, natural selection, cell organelles, genetics, etc. And then actually these body systems, nervous, skeletal, excretory, etc., they're actually they're a big enough deal to have 1 slide per body system. And then finally, ecology and climate change. Then you move on to 8th grade, and here's all the different topics I want you to put. So it's a big project. You're not going to get it done in one day. I don't expect it to be, I hope you don't get it done in one day. I want you to work on it over time. This is a project that you can do. Some teachers call these sponge activities because they're the sorts of things you fill the time with. Anytime you're done with your work early, you can add to this thing, and we'll be adding to it. It won't be due until the end of the year. Everybody get that? It's not due until the end of the year. So it's a big project. We add to it every now and then. And sometimes we'll take a whole day, maybe even a couple days to keep adding to it. But it's not something that I expect you to rush through and get done all sloppy. I want you to actually do a good job. So that's how we do this. And we're going to start that today.